A jury chooses death for a serial sniper. Hello, everybody. I'm Jane Skinner. Unless a judge says otherwise, John Muhammad will be sentenced to death for masterminding last year's sniper attacks in the Washington, D.C. area. Jurors said the decision was extremely difficult, but they were swayed by the violent nature of his crimes. The judge could reduce Muhammad's sentence to life in prison, but he is expected anyway to follow the jury's recommendation. A massive search is underway for a missing University of North Dakota student. Police believe the 22-year-old may have been abducted on Saturday while she was talking to her boyfriend on a cell phone. Drew Shodine was last seen leaving her job at the Columbia Mall, that's in Grand Forks. Her boyfriend says he heard her say, "Oh my God," just before the phone went dead. Her car was found in the mall's parking lot. Cell phone users are giving the new federal guidelines a ringing endorsement, you could say. The new law allows customers to keep their same cell number when they switch providers. Some are calling it wireless emancipation. The new law also allows people to transfer their home phone number to their cell phone. Minnesota is getting socked by its first major snowstorm of the season. Take a look. Mother Nature has dumped up to a foot of snow across parts of the state. The storm, unfortunately, also has taken a deadly toll. 4 people have been killed on the icy roads there, and more than 700 crashes reported in the state. Finally, President Bush took part in that Thanksgiving tradition this morning. He served up a pair of pardons to 2 turkeys, saving them from becoming somebody's Thanksgiving dinner. That's what they always say. I don't know. Instead, the birds, named Stars and Stripes, will live out their days on a Virginia petting farm.
They have a lot to be thankful for.
They do. Time now to send you back to Shepherd. You're melancholy today.
Yeah, you know, one team wins, one team loses. But 2 very good teams played my team over the weekend. We talk about it ad nauseum, and it's almost over. We'll stop soon. We'll go back to recipes.
And I know Shepherd hates it when
there is no chance. My hands will burn off. I can't touch that.
No, you're not going to touch it. But somebody sent this. He's a retired guy named Warren Gaines. He said he wore it years and years and years and years ago. It's his original LSU shirt. It's a little bit beat up.
You know,
and he said
they came
hanging on your wall.
That's all he's asking. There's just no chance. I mean, every good Rebel is for the Rebels every weekend, and also for whoever's playing LSU. That's been the case since long before there was a Fluff, Jane.
He says,
long before Fluff was even a glimmer in his
Fox News is fair and balanced. I feel, quote, it's only proper that somebody should acknowledge LSU also has a pretty good
It almost makes my eyes water. You know, it was one of those, truly, I'm not even kidding about that. It was one of those weekends where, you know, 2 very good teams met. They had a lot of turnovers. We had interceptions, and we didn't capitalize on a lot of things where normally we would have. You know, we've got the best field goal kicker in the United States of America. There's no question about it. And he missed a couple of field goals, and, you know, God bless him. It happens. But 2 great teams played, and the truth is, if LSU loses to Arkansas this weekend, we still go to the title game, and they could. Woo pig, woo pig. Anyway, nothing against the LSU
then we won't
folks.
Have to talk about it anymore,
we still have to beat Mississippi State this weekend too, and you know, have to go to Starkville to do that, which is
now your Dolphins play on Thursday too.
Very sad.
Melancholy was actually not even quite capturing
Best weekend in Oxford ever. Man, it was a fun weekend.
Okay, well, good.
What were you asking about the Dolphins? The Dolphins won yesterday.
No, on Thursday, I think. Doesn't everybody play on Thursday?
The Rebels play on Thursday.
Yeah.
The Dolphins can play on Thursday too. It's going to be a busy day.
Oh, I'm getting yelled at now.
Make time for turkey.
In my ear.
Oh well.
Okay, see you later.
Thank you for caring. Get that thing out of here.
You could tear it up and make it into rags.
I won't do that because they might stop watching, but I'll think about it. As the coalition continues its attacks against coalition troops, as the other side continues the attacks against coalition troops in Iraq, the Americans are fighting back. From Studio B, let's get to Oliver North, who's the host of War Stories and a contributor of sorts for us here on Studio B. He's embedded with the 4th Infantry Division in Bayzi in Iraq. Hello, Colonel North.
Shepherd, you're not the only one that's out here complaining about what happened yesterday to Ole Miss. Griff Jenkins, my combat cameraman, who weathered the storm with us when we went to war with these guys and joined them up here, is also an Ole Miss grad, and he suffered right along with you. Standing right next to me, Staff Sergeant Frederick Boyd, who is the Operations NCO on watch right now in the Tactical Operations Center for 3rd Battalion, 66th Armor, 4th Infantry Division, operating here in Baji since April when I left them. Griff and I came home. These guys have done a remarkable job of building a relationship with the local population that has led to discoveries like today's arms cache, found right outside RPGs, mines, the kind that knocked out one of their tanks earlier this year. This kind of discovery is very, very important, and Sergeant Frederick Boyd understands the kind of success that they've enjoyed up here in minimizing the attacks on Americans. I want them to talk with you just a little bit about this. Some of the positive trends that you've seen since you've been here, because you were here when I left you and you're still here now.
A lot of things came in. A lot of people are giving us good information. They are giving us areas where we can find most of the weapons and stuff. We found a lot of weapons. I mean, the citizens have been helping us a real lot to do our job, making the transition a lot more easier as far as helping everything out.
What they're also doing up here, Shep, is they're working hard to recruit the new Iraqi National Police Force and the Iraqi Civil Defense Corps. And they're training these guys along with a unit from Georgia. And we'll have that Georgian officer, who, of course, has a new leadership in his country right now and some uncertainty, but he's still on the job. Shepard?
All right, Lieutenant Colonel Oliver North, and howdy toddy, everybody. I'll see y'all soon. Thank you very much. We'll be going now live to Fort Carson. I said Fort Collins. I meant Fort Carson in Colorado. President Bush about to address the troops there. In fact, they're just about 4 minutes away. Well, you can see that the ruffles and flourishes even. Listen.
Ladies and gentlemen, the President of the United States.
And as you can see, stars and stripes are flying today. The president has come to address the troops, and these folks, man, you talk about sacrifice for our nation and for all that we love and hold dear, and for the fact that we have the right to go and say and do what we please. 27 of America's finest and bravest from this particular spot have died while fighting for us in Iraq. 27 since the end of major combat. With us from D.C. while we wait for the president to begin speaking is our military analyst and former Green Beret himself, Major Bob Bevilacqua, who's just back from Iraq. Major Bob, good to talk to you. I know that these are trying times for these folks and the rest, but how are things over there?
Shepard, I'm sorry, I'm listening to the program.
Yeah, let's listen. You're right. You are. Let's listen.